students may or may not know about. So could you touch upon, maybe the different departments or the areas of work within filmmaking? Because when everyone thinks of filmmaking, they may have a view, and 9 times out of 10 maybe a little myopic. So could you help us expand that horizon?
So I'll start very basic way,
Sure.
traditional way. So I think there are some very good reputed institutes in our country, starting with FTII, SRFTI, Whistling Woods, that have their 2 years, 3 years courses. Of course, they're all, you get there through entrances. Maybe you have to make something, write why you want to do cinema. But what I respect is the culture. What I respect is the exposure that they give you towards cinema, taking you through the historical journey of cinema. There is a lovely course called Film Appreciation. Not being from film school, I started to appreciate cinema so much better when I went back to learning about the first film, learning about the movement from still photography to movement in camera and what that did for people consuming it.
Right.
And then to know every decade internationally through the world wars, how cinema reflected on that and moved people, you know. So I respect cinema so much more because I could get to know that. So to be in such institutes gives you two things. One is professors who besides knowledge also give you that sense of holding, of inspiration. And second is a network, of your colleagues. Somebody is a DP, aspiring to be a DP, DOP. Somebody is aspiring to be a writer, and you're aspiring to be a director. So then you have your crew, and you have it for life. So that culture is a very good thing to have. So I would encourage going to the top 5 institutes, researching, or for someone like me who's not had that. During the whole lockdown, I did online courses, and these are again from FTI, very cheap, 5,000, 7,000. I got the same teachers teaching me across 3 months,
Right.
and my first short film came out of that course. Because it was so encouraging that there were 12 of us. We would shoot stuff. Everyone would reflect on what has been shot, feedback. And every time we were just doing stuff, storyboarding sometimes writing a scene, sometimes just listening to sound and reflecting on it. It was an energy that was being created in that momentum, and it resulted in that short film.
Nice.
So, film is a collaborative medium, just like music, just like a song.
Right.
You have others coming in with their inputs and specialities. So I think that's what you will get: the culture, the encouragement, the holding in an institute. So that's something I would go back to if I know myself at the right age to pursue it from such an institute.
Right.
And sorry, so what was the other part of the
I
question?
was asking about, say, the fact that you worked in, fairly large setups, you would have been exposed to the different departments that are there within filmmaking
Departments.
or roles that people play. So could you maybe touch upon that?
Yeah. So uh, again, I'll say upfront to the young minds, young artists, that for a film to happen, there are 4 or 5 key departments. Okay, direction, acting, editing, writing, and camera. Okay. Now you can't be, of course, if you're a Ray, if you're a Satyajit Ray, you can, because he would draw his own storyboards. He would do music. He would shoot behind the camera. Okay. He would get non-actors to be acting. Everything. But if you're not that as yet, within these 4 or 5 things, if you can master even any two, okay, then that is good enough.
Why two?
Because then uh, it gives you a hold on what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And like for me, for example, my strengths are handling actors because I come from theater, and writing. Okay, I'm not good with camera, setting up a shot, framing. That's not my space. and editing is not my space. Okay. And I can't master those things. But I know that if I'm clear about what I want from this scene, and I can tell my actor that, and my dialogues are helping me in that space,
Correct.
then other things can be helped out. You get what I'm saying? So even to know any two, master any two, then you're safe enough for others to hold you in the other departments.
Is it that your contribution becomes a little bit more holistic, or I mean, as you said, filmmaking is a collaborative process. You have people, professionals from different fields coming together to make something which is bigger than themselves individually. But when you know more than just one, you're able to get a more balanced view or a more balanced contribution. Is that where you're coming from?
No, I don't know about balance, but you're able to take it to where you want it to.
Okay. Okay.
Because a story is open to interpretation, right? When it's on paper, right?
Right.
But what do you see? An October on paper could be something else if somebody else is to make it, right? But it's Sujit Sarkar's vision, right?
Right.
Right? Or with what I am writing today, it's called the Man Who Wanted to Be Forgotten. If I give this script right now to, let's say, Raj behind the camera, he will make something else,
Right.
right? So I need to be clear about what the vision for this is, and I have to lead the way.
Right.
To the actor, he's looking at me, ke batao. He's an empty vessel. His job is to come as an empty vessel.
Correct.
And he's come, batao, मैं कैसे करूँ? ऐसे करूँ कि ऐसे करूँ कि ऐसे करूँ? And the only thing they appreciate is, the first thing they say about a good director is he knew what he wanted. That's all. So I need to know what I want. I can be open to, acha yaar, ye bhi acha lag raha hai, but is it what I want? So all your professionals will be looking at you. Is this what you want?
Right.
And then they can tell you, because you want this, let's do it this way. Let's shoot it this way. Let's shoot top angle. Let's shoot low angle. Let's break it up like this. But you need to be clear about what you want. So that's what I think a director brings primarily. And he has to own the craft in that sense. The worst thing that can happen is a confused or a lost director. Then there's no captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And then it will just go in all directions. It will never finish.
Correct.
Or somebody from production, the producer will end up, getting it done somehow.
Makes sense.
Which is when bad films happen also. Because that either the director was changed or there was something not clean.
Makes sense. Thanks for that.
But to
Go ahead,
just
please.
answer it more, let's say, base level, there are departments like, of course, there is the writer, the script writer. On set, there is somebody who takes over from the writer to, let's say, who handles the script on set. By handles, I mean, let's say, briefing other actors or, just listening to the dialogues. Because the director is looking at macro, right? The script supervisor is listening to the dialogues, no important dialogue being missed, or just knowing that certain words which are important for the director, they are not forgotten or not heard. Things like that, small things like that, right? Also rehearsing with actors, the script supervisor works very closely with the director on set to look at performance and things that are important from the scene drama point of view,
Right.
including something like, let's say, action continuity. So these things is, let's say, a script supervisor. Then, of course, there's somebody who will be taking care of costume. Okay, now there is a direction team who helps the director's vision and is the bridge between the technician who's handling that department.
Okay.
So there's a costume designer
Right.
whom the director will brief. Okay, this is the look I'm looking for, let's say, Deepika's character in Piku, for Irfan's character, for Mr. Bachchan's character.
Correct.
The assistant director who's handling costume will then liaison with the costume department and show the director stuff. He will lock it. And then they will ensure that it reaches the actor for that scene on time and everything moves slowly. Because a good direction team's job is to ensure that the director is focused only on the monitor and looking at performance. Everything else, costume gaya, right costume, continuity, script, pocha ke nahi, this, that is our job. There's a chief who's running the set on time, schedule. आज ये 4 सीन करने हैं, 2 लोकेशन शिफ्ट है. He has the right to tell the director you're running slow.
Okay.
He has the right. The set is actually his.
Correct.
He's running the set.
In fact, that might be one of his key responsibilities.
Key responsibilities. He's in fact answerable to production. Because an extension of time, extension of shift is a lot of money.
Correct.
8-hour, 12-hour shift, any extension is a lot of money.
Correct.
Right? So that's something he needs to. You can't be creatively just sitting back and, thinking about what to say and all of that. In most films today, there's a lot of money involved. Dates, artists, everything is pre-planned. To get, let's say on a film like Piku, to get Mr. Bachchan, Deepika, Irfan sir, all on that day is a lot of coordination, right?
Right.
These are busy artists.
And you want to shoot certain scenes with them, therefore you've budgeted, certain amount of time which you want to shoot those scenes, and therefore you've gone one step further and say, okay, this is the costumes I need, this is the production set I need, so you budgeted for that. Meaning kuch sara whack if you're not running.
All your creative is to a certain extent scripting, researching, creative ho gaya.
Right.
When it's execution, you are in execution mode, and we work like an army unit.
Right.
We work hard. We wake up at 6, we go to sleep at 12. And we are doing that for 35 days. Sardar Udham, that Jallianwala Bagh scene, 18 to 20 days, our whole team night shoots. Just dressing up 1,000 people in that costume period, right? And putting blood marks for Vicky to pick up.
Right.
It's not easy. And in blood, you're in blood, your hands are in blood. It's even stressful here.
I can imagine.
And to do that day in and day out, so there are demands, and you need to hold each other in that. You work like an army. Some days you don't eat, you're forgetting you have to eat, because time is your biggest enemy on the set. There's money involved, and so there's a lot to do always, and it's huge money today. So we are quite organized. There are softwares, there's an EP scheduler, there is final draft in which we write the scripts. There's an EP scheduler that helps us plan. Those schedules are sent to artist teams. Those schedules are locations are blocked according to that schedule, and we need to finish those scenes in that much time. So we are an army unit, and we hold each other together. Otherwise, you're not going to get there. So it's a different high also, and it's demanding. And you need to be fit mentally, emotionally, and in the families, they know that, okay, he's going to shoot, let him be.
Right.
Let me not now, he's gone from me for 30 days.